We're going to take another look at the 2024 recruiting class, and we're going to shine a spotlight on 4-star wide receiver Izaiah Williams, who signed with Texas A&M. We're going to look at his highlights. We're going to look at his 24/7 Sports player profile page. But before you do all that, you need to click that subscribe button right now, because we're talking about the 2024 recruiting class every single day of this offseason. And you need to know what your players look like before they hit the field. But here's his 24/7 Sports player profile page. If you're here for just the highlights, fast forward a few minutes, you will get there. But we're enrolled with Texas A&M. We're ranked as the 38th best wide receiver in the class, 51 in the composite rankings, though. 6'1", 172. We received 29 offers, especially Florida. We decommitted from them. Alabama was in there, some top-tier Power 5 schools. 30 offers in my range. That's great. I think that's a good amount of offers. I think college football really wanted him. So we should have some upside, should show us some stuff on the highlight film that we like. Moving on down, 10.94, 100 meters. So we got speed to burn. So he's either going to be good at getting you yards after the catch, getting downfield, making plays happen, or both. Big play wide receiver with a longer stride that put up big numbers as a senior. Two things that's telling us. He's dynamic, he's dominant, and on top of that, on top of the production, that speed is kicking in there with the dominance as well. That's what we're seeing as a big play wide receiver. Laser timed at 4.46, 10.94, that makes sense. We got speed to burn, and he's also 10.94 in the 100-meter dash. That's solid. Wins more times than not with his release, and can also create plenty of separation with explosive cuts. So we got a good route runner. Cuts are big for running routes. Explosive off the release. He's got a lot of burst as well. Can't wait to see his highlights. I think he's going to be underrated. Placed 10th in the 100-meter dash as a junior. We got speed. That's all we really need to say. We're more than fast enough. We're locked in with Tamu, decommitted from Florida. He has that Florida speed, but now he's got that Texas burn. 4-star prospect. Going over here, looking at on 3, 4-star down the line. So all the recruiting sites are saying he's good. Ranked 42, 38, 45, but 76 with rivals. On 3's got him at 42. ESPN got him at 45. And then 40 with the industry rankings. 5'11.5", 175. Here's some other teams that we're looking at. Miami, LSU. LSU looking at him. LSU likes wide receivers with burst who are quick off the break. That's a good sign, too, on the route running and athleticism. Georgia, he's got some schools looking at him. Probably an underrated wide receiver when we look at the highlights. Maybe something happened in camp or something. But you know what? We'll take a look. Sometimes guys just fall through the cracks. 5 minutes and 44 seconds of tape. Let me know what you think in the comments below. We're going to let this one rock, though. Here we go. We're going to see some speed right now. I definitely see some burst. Let's see if we can get to the top end here. Probably not. But even if we did, cameraman's not going to show it. But I have some good indicators. He's fast. I'll just let you know off that one play. He's fast. I'm not really worried about it. Downfield, gets by him. There's the speed. There it is. There it is when he started to pull away. Inside shade by the DB. Boom. Good release. He's very sudden. Out in front of him. He's a very sudden wide receiver. I'll say this off the rip. We've only seen 3 plays. He's underranked. He's underranked. He should be ranked higher. I'll say this. Right off the rip. Right off the rip. And why do I say that? And why is what he does stands out to me? Not the speed. The speed's there. I like it. It's that burst and that suddenness. He's catching balls out in front of him, too. With his hands, keeping his stride. He's doing some functional things that I would expect guys being ranked around wide receiver 20, 25, or higher doing. He's underranked. So something might happen at an all-star game or a camp or something, but I'll say this. When you look at the tape here, he's standing out compared to a lot of wide receivers we've looked at. There's definitely a batch of wide receivers that should be ranked behind him. He's got good burst speed. He's got a lot of potential. He looks like a guy who should be going to like LSU. Yeah. One thing I want to see in his sample is cell tactics. Usually when I say something like that, see how sudden he is on that break? There's a bunch of ways you can win on routes. Cell tactics, suddenness, quickness, overpowering with size. He's got great hands. He's got great hands. I noticed, like, right off the first few sentences was about production, speed, burst, a little bit on his release. His hands are underrated. He's catching it right out in front of him and keeping stride, not slowing down. They mentioned he was a long strider, which is okay, but it doesn't really matter that much because if you're winning effectively, it's really all that matters. There he is. There's a little cell right there. Subtle. A subtle seller. Assertive. See him there. Inside. Very intrigued by him now. There he is. I like that. I like that a lot. He's going to eat that cushion up. Boom. Ball's in the air. Look at this. Boom. Good concentration. Competition-wise, that might be a factor, but it's not like we're out on the farm competition. And I'm saying that because we've covered guys about 100 spots up in the rankings that was out on the farm running routes at tight end, wide receiver, and stuff. So, yeah, I think it was tight end. But still, probably should be ranked higher than that tight end. I would say that in overall. Right behind him. When you watch a lot of players on the highlights, you'll be able to notice patterns from top end players, and then when you see lower end players in the rankings who have those top end traits, you'll be like, something's not working there. Something's not working. You're more like those guys. We're on defense. He's got good speed off the blocks. He's got good speed. He's bursty. A bigger wide receiver up again. Assertive. Very assertive. Look at that. Very assertive player. He's very assertive coming out of his breaks. Stride for stride. We're seeing that. Why is that important? Because if you got a hole at DB and say you landed a wide receiver in the transfer portal or something, you could switch him over. And that's important for him because he could switch over. He's got those skills. He can play both ways. He could definitely do that. He's got the speed to hang. He's got the burst and footwork. We saw the footwork at wide receiver. We know he's got the ball skills. Wide receiver would be his top choice. Would be my top choice too. And DB, good insurance policy to be good at. It's always good to be good, right? Always good to be good. I don't agree with the rankings with all the recruiting sites. And maybe they got more intel than me, which I understand. And I know a lot of these recruiting sites, their headquarters is like right next to each other. That's what one of my buddies mentioned to me who's in the industry. But he's underranked. And what I like about him is the suddenness. That is the trait that sticks out the most. I mean, the speed does, obviously, but that's an obvious one. But the suddenness sticks out the most. On his breaks, he's very sudden on his cell tactics. We didn't see too much of that. That's maybe something I wanted to see more in the sample. But I bet you it could be there. I bet you it is there in his game. And he's got time to develop that. If not, it's just not in that sample what we just saw. But we did see him sell. It's very subtle, and he's very quick. Very quick with his footwork, very quick off the release. He's got a lot of burst, he's got a lot of pop, and he gets to that top end. That burst off the release makes him faster because you're on the heels of whoever's covering, especially those safeties who are playing that insurance policy up top, making you much more dangerous downfield. We got exceptional ball skills. We're catching stuff away from our body while in stride. and we're showing that time after time, which allows us to get more yards after the catch. He's a very dangerous playmaker. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.